All right. I never made Sergeant Major because I fell on my sword when I was in E8, and I dropped the hammer on my entire chain of command and all the way up to the Department of Army in regards to the mobilization processes of National Guard troops. And Sergeant Major of the Army, his name escapes me, but at the 100-year Army Reserve reenlistment ceremony in Washington, he shook my hand, looked me in the face, and said, "You're never going to make Sergeant Major." It's Sergeant Major. It was Sergeant Major Preston.
What a dick!
No, it's cool. I mean, I knew the price. It was worth it. I'd do it again. None of my people in my unit got killed, despite the fact that my chain of command rolled over and was more than willing to send people to their deaths, completely ill-equipped and untrained. But that's just the way it goes. Shit. So he was a sergeant major, or he was a master sergeant.
Okay.
And they moved him into a sergeant major billet because usually they do that before they promote you up to a 9.
Yep. And then as soon as he heard Iraq, he's like, "Oh, I've decided I'm going to run for office."
I know. And then you get the...
But then he still went on talk shows and stuff and insisted that he served years in Iraq. Like, no, now you're officially stolen valor.
Yeah, it's stolen valor. And... Now,
it's very John Kerry of him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was just honest about it and said, "Hey, he could blame it on his health. I have some health issues. I just didn't feel confident." And then he stuck by that. That's one thing. But when he's like, "No, I did all this and I did all that," I mean, get the fuck out of here, man.
YF, who just put the large super chat on YouTube, I appreciate it. But so I don't butcher your name, spell it phonetically in your next comment. Please. Otherwise, I'm going to call you Yasin Fake Queer. And we'll give you a whole Pride Month.
Yeah, and I mean...
You Kanakistan.
So Steve and I are going to go through a lot of the past vice presidents, and some of them who actually moved up to be president. And we're going to do some comparisons between the one that Harris picked and some of the other ones in the past. And I have no idea why she picked this particular dude, other than the fact that maybe they want to maintain Minnesota.
Hold on.
I think that's really what it is. The reason why she didn't go with Shapiro is because he's a Jew, and she wants to court the far left. And you can't get much further left than AWOLs.
Did she really pick him, though?
Hold on. So he let Minnesota burn to the ground during the Summer of Love.
Yep.
And she let those people back out.
Yep.
So
she contributed to the bail fund and encouraged others to do the same, and he let his state burn.
Yep.
I can't imagine how this is going to backfire when they finally debate Trump and Vance.
Wow.
I mean, obviously, they've got such a leg up. That's why they're push polling instead of polling honestly.
What about all the trips to China?
Yeah.
And all the economic ties to China, too.
That needs to get...
That's a little
get quashed.
Yeah, it goes back to '89.
Well, here's the thing. When they succeed in tanking this economy, they are all going to be held accountable by the mob who comes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and this is not like a society like where the Great Depression, where like people like had patience and there wasn't instant gratification and you could go farm. Like everybody is like 10-second, I want it now, and everything comes from the store. It's pretty bad.
Did you see Come Swallow a Heels Up, Pull My Harris speaking here yesterday?
No.
Oh my God!
It was awesome.
She was getting heckled by the Gaza protesters, and she fucked it up magnificently. If she does that one more time, the far left is going to abandon her ass.
The left is going to eat itself.
Yeah,
that's what they've been doing.
They're just you can't hate that.
We're
much
oppressed. No,
together.
we're more oppressed than you.
All right.
No, we're more oppressed than you.
What was the price of gas in 2020 when Trump left office?
Like $1.80 a gallon.
And what is
$1.99 here?
It's $3.68 is the average price in Michigan.
Yes,
it's $3.80.
If you go
California standards, like $7.
If you go south and it's a little more dangerous to get gas, it's a little cheaper.
Well, going down south for gas is always dangerous.
Yeah, if you go into Detroit, you can get your gas for about $3.40 a gallon, but you better have Overwatch.
Yeah, you
get
risk insurance increases.
He said, but I just felt like throwing that up there for fun.
It's all good. But I mean, we've got the price of basic necessities, meat, eggs, milk, all going up.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why the poor kids are now fat. All right. They want the good stuff to be too expensive, even though it has less of the shit in it that costs money to make. There's a reason for that.
Yep.
Everything that they tell you is bad for you is probably good for you. They just want it for themselves.
Yep.
So what's one way to get people off of meat, dairy, and all that?
It's bad.
Make it so you can't afford it.
Well, you got to also understand, you double the price of gas, you're increasing the price of the freight costs to bring the food in. It's just that simple.
What's the take on Venezuela?
Well, here's the thing. They know that they have stole that election.
Yeah.
And now it's on. And literally the same thing is probably going to happen here.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.